It's a beautiful day. I'm sitting out here in the beauty, as you can see, my beautiful background. We got the hay down today, so that's kind of what I got done with. I meant to have a live over the weekend, which is why while I'm resting, we're having a little bit of something here because I promised a live and then I didn't do it for various reasons, which we will get to when some people get in here. I'm on data, so you may have some breaks now and then. Hello, Richella. You want to come here, Richella? Hello, Ronnie. Well, Ronnie, it's just me and you. I just got the hay down. Well, I got the hay down. Hello, Jason. Yes, I got the hay down, and well, okay, let me see. On this device, I have to find the controls. I'm not used to them. Like I say, you can see the hay field over there. We've got the hay down. We got cats fighting behind us. Ugh, my back hurts. Oh, that's a bunch of my water jugs. And there is Summer, Richella, the baby, and I believe that's Caiaphas. I got a bunch of the kitties' homes. And as I mentioned earlier, before people got in here, I did promise a live over the weekend and didn't get to do it because we had kitty issues. Magnus had a stroke. He passed on, and I had to sit with him. Now, the little one is Tessa. She's the only one of the little ones I didn't get a home. She is Richella's, except she thinks that Summer is her mother. And Summer and her are best buddies, and they run around and play and do their thing. And over here, my cats are fighting. Looks like Caiaphas and Conrad. Now, if you were here in my last live, I mentioned that Conrad was abusing his brother, so I managed to get his brother a home. Conrad is an asshole. Now, fortunately, he's a good cat to me. Well, he will eat me up, but he don't mean it as nasty. He just does it for fun. Hello, Robert. And you can see my hay down behind us. So like I say, that's what we've been doing here. And I thought, well, while I'm just sitting here, I could go live for a little bit and talk. And like I say, for people who are here for the kitties, there's Richella. That's Richella's baby, Tessa. And she is like a little Summer. And if you've been here a while, you remember Caiaphas. And he used to be the same size as Summer. Now look at him. He's a sweet kitty. Actually, I'm going to sit right down here with him and see if I can get them to be a sweet kitty. Caiaphas, come here. See, there's Richella. Don't have to ask Richella twice, do we? Hello, Graciela. Yes, I meant to do a live, but we had issues here. Magnus, he had a stroke and he passed on. So I was with him in his last days, and we've been doing that. And here's the new baby, Tessa. She thinks she's 10 foot tall, by the way. Now, I did make a short of her and Summer fighting. And here's Summer. I mean, you guys don't get to see Summer much anymore. But there he is, and she's just out here playing and doing her thing. Hello, Francine. You gonna get her? Summer beating her grandbaby. And that's Conrad. He's the one that bit off a part of his brother's tail. And I got Jago a home because Conrad was abusing him. weren't you, Conrad? Well, Magnus was at the end of his days. He was tyrannies, and now Summer is the oldest kitty on the property. And you see, my oldest kitty is playing with the youngest kitty, her granddaughter. And this is the other thing that I've been doing. I've been watching the old Summer and her granddaughter play. Now, this little kitten right here bullies that big boy right there. You can see he's a boy. Hello, Sherry. We're having a kitty moment. I've been kind of busy and I haven't been able to get to the content that I intend to. I have 2 lives already wrote, but because I've kind of been busy, I've just thought, well, while I'm sitting here resting, I'll come live a little bit, talk to everybody. And like I said, I know some people subscribe just because of the kitties, and my last couple lives, they really haven't been around. And there is Caiaphas, who once was little tiny Caiaphas. And he's friendly. I mean, he's as friendly as could be. Caiaphas. She's been busy. Of course, those two are buddies. But in reality, Caiaphas is Conrad's uncle. Now, this baby in Caiaphas, they're full brother and sister. Because Magnus, who just recently passed, was the daddy. Oh, yeah, this is the last cutting of the hay. Like I say, you can see the field back there. We just got it done. And like I said, I was just kind of sitting here and I was kind of too lazy to get cleaned up at the moment. So I thought I'd come on for a really short live and let you guys know why I haven't been live like I promised and give a little bit of kitty content and just talk. And you guys don't really get to see Summer out really doing stuff anymore. And when we cut the hay, she loves all of this right here because she plays in it. And I'm happy that she's over 8 years old and still playing. That made me real happy to see her playing with the baby. As I mentioned earlier, I got a couple lives wrote that we'll do sometime soon. But the hay thing comes first, the animals come first. And as I said, while I was out here sitting with them, I thought, we could all just hang out together for a little while. Yes, Black Sheep, I almost went live last night and talked about it, but I decided that YouTube might ban my channel if I ran my mouth last night. So I thought I'd give it kind of 48 hours to kind of roll over in my head before I open my mouth about it on the platform. But yeah, I'm actually kind of dying to talk about that because once again on this channel we talk about lolcows, and at this point I really think the media has become a lolcow. Now, talking on a side note, I have seriously thought about starting to treat mainstream media just like I would Adrastia or Milton John or any of the others. Some of the things I have heard on some of these platforms, I mean, These people are stupid. They go out in the world and utter some of those things. Some are getting chased by our grandson. But this is one of the things they do, the kitties, when we cut the hay, is they play in it. Now, the little baby over there, she was born April 10th. So I guess she's 5 months old. 5 months and a day. Now, talking on a side note, you know, I was in that blue trailer over there. That used to be my old place. But that blue trailer, that's where I was on 9/11 when it happened. I was watching it on a 32-inch Sony, and I was live. I'd got up early that morning and heard on the radio that a plane had hit one of the towers, and I turned it on the TV, and I got to watch the second one hit. Yeah, this isn't going to be much a thrilling live. Like I said, I just came to hang out and explain why I haven't been doing content and let people see a little bit of nature and the animals. You can kind of, I'm sitting down, you can kind of, I can't really see what you're seeing, but you can kind of see my background. There's the barn, and as you can see, it is a gorgeous day out here. I mean, just absolutely. Hello, Country Barbie. Well, let me see. Well, you can't see where I'm pointing, but to your right, or directly to your right, no, for you guys, I guess that would be your left, would be Mount Vernon. And then straight behind me, about 20 miles, would be Somerset. And I guess Mount Vernon's about 18 miles the other direction. Now, funny thing is I got a whole presentation ready on Adrastea. Hello, Cass. Yes, we're sitting out here with the kitties. Now, I did get a lot of the kitties' homes, and we had Magnus pass over the weekend. He had a stroke. And that's kind of why we're having the live now. I didn't even kind of give you an exact that you'll know exactly where I am. You know, in Pulaski County, where it's got the really big point that literally 3 counties meet, that's like a mile and a half to my left. Well, Magnus, he had lived his life. Conrad's taking a dump for us. I hope it works out well, Conrad. As you can see, he has good form. He covers well. Some cow's going to eat that, but we won't tell them, will we? Maybe I should actually charge extra for the roll that's got the cat poop in it. And there's Summer and the baby. You coming over here, Conrad? Well, Conrad, where are you going, man? Normally he comes right to me. Just kind of busy. It looks like the baby's going to get Summer. Mosquitoes trying to eat me. If you wonder why I'm jerky, I'm killing mosquitoes as we're doing our live. Whenever the camera jerks, I'm killing one. Well, we'll go for a walk here for a second if I can get up. Back. My back makes me want to scream, but as I've mentioned before, I've been doing a lot. What are we doing, baby? Now, the funny thing is she's a smart cat, but she only knows like 5 words. And I don't think any of them are her name. Tessa. Tessa. See? Baby boo. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing, Caiaphas? What are we doing, Conrad? What are we doing? Let you see a little bit of scenery while I'm out and about. I have my broken foot still isn't healed completely, so if you're wondering why we're a little bit jerky, had a break in coverage because we're running off data. Well, shit, it looks like we got fur. It looks like somebody might have found one of my blankets. Okay, now we're back. Okay, we're back. It's me because I'm walking around. Yeah, like I said, it's not you, it's me. In fact, that's why I'm back over here to this chair, so the stream will stabilize. I just wanted to show you guys the pond, and apparently that was a mistake because everyone left. Welcome back, Ronnie. Like I said, the stream crashed on me for a minute because I'm walking around. So I need to sit my ass back down and not move, and the stream won't crash anymore. So it is what it is. Hello, Jamie. There's Conrad, and there's Summer, my constant companion. Summer, what you doing, honey? It's okay, honey. I know what she's thinking. She's thinking, is it go in time? Because when it's go in time, I feed her. And one thing my Summer loves is being fed. Hey, Richella. Hello, Richella. I'll come back here to the chair. Well, we're on data. We're not on a stable link. But that's why I stopped and sat back down. Hopefully the stream will stabilize. Like I said, I'm not going to be here long. I just came to hang out a little bit and show everyone me and the kitties are still alive. And hopefully I'll have a live sometime this weekend. It kind of depends on what life ends up throwing at me. Because here you flat out never know. Richella, come here. Chill you. You can see how well it works. You want to ignore me, Chella? You gonna ignore me? You coming finally? You want to come up here? Richella, what you doing, Richella? Richella. And Richella's still stupid. Just saying. Yes, Richella's still stupid. And you can see that she's not really interested in me right now. Hello. I had a kitty run at me. And I tell them hello. What are you doing, Kaifish? So yeah, I'm just sitting out here, and like I said, you can see it is a beautiful day out. I mean, that's a black walnut tree, by the way. And it's full of black walnuts. And that's kind of why I'm sitting here. Because when those things fall off and hit you in the head, they really hurt. Just saying. I've had that happen once. Don't want to happen again. So I make sure to stay out of fall range. Even though it would have been a little bit more comfortable if I was under the tree. But yeah, I thought I'd just hang out for a little bit, and I'm thinking about talking about adrastia this weekend as civility. You know, because I'm going to tie the Charlie Kirk stuff into it. Because adrastia, her whole thing, if you're new here, she tries to gaslight people into harming other people. I mean, she is an unindicted co-conspirator to the murder of a disabled woman. And in reality, she's the mastermind. They just didn't charge her because her boyfriend is dangerous to children and they wanted him on murder one to keep him in jail forever. So, once again, I'm going to take adrastia this weekend as a topic, and I am going to tie it in to everything that has been happening in current events. So, that's the upcoming live this weekend, and I promise that I will have bathed before then. Actually, a few times, just saying. But yeah, I thought, well, the light's better now, and I also didn't feel like getting up to do it because I'm tired. I've had a hard day. And watching my kitties run around. So, like I say, I don't really care what I look like at the moment. I'll clean up before bed. You know, probably trim my beard before I do the live. Now, it might be tomorrow night. You know, it kind of depends. A little bit on the weather that we have. Honestly, because those lights that I use in there, they're pretty warm. So, whichever night is going to be cooler, that's the night on the weekend that I'm going to do the live. Just saying. That's the point that I'm at right now. That, and I'm starting to get eat up by mosquitoes. We had a cat race. Grandmommy and grandbaby. And they've hit the limit to where they're allowed to. Summer. Summer Sue. Come here. Summer. Summer. Hello, Jim. I'm sitting here trying to. She'll will run into a judge. She'll will run into a judge that is going to be tired of her BS. Well, apparently it happened. Now, it's kind of funny because her home state is always the one that coddled her. And that's why I didn't put her staying in jail forever as the option. Now, she's been in 6 months. So she could have up to a year worth of credit now. Hello, Abster. Hello, RJ. But yeah, Letitia, where she was trespassing, that's little stuff. But I think where she spit on the officer and resisted arrest. And as you know, watching Letitia, she's resisted arrest multiple times in her life. So The question is how long the judge is going to leave her in. Now, I have never heard of anything of a case coming to trial. So I think that they're just keeping her locked up for her time, and then they'll end up, when they do give her a trial, just end up releasing her. But yeah, I expect that she will be in a while. That's Summer and her grandbaby. And I have to put up with that because Summer and grandbaby are indoor kitties. And I will be sitting there in my life doing my business, and you will hear that. Now, during my future lives, I'm going to have to put a disclaimer. If you hear wild cat fights, just ignore it because it's that. It's grandmommy and grandbaby wrestling. And when Summer doesn't want it, she gets absolutely positively bent out of shape. And then this one right here is her other grandbaby, Conrad. But yeah, like I say, as you can see, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. Now, I am going to go here in a minute, but as I said, either Friday night or Saturday night, we will have a live and we will talk about Adrastia and everything that has gone on with Charlie Kirk, the loss of civility, and kind of give a reality check. Now, the people that will be tuning in really ain't the ones that will be needing the reality check, but it's kind of nice to get everything on the record. You know, no matter how outrageous the viewer usually is here, they're more sane than anybody in the media, which isn't saying much. Now, I wish my summer cat would come back over here. Summer, Summer kitty, come here. Summer Sue. By the way, that is Summer's last name. You know, like the Chinese warlord Sun Tzu, she is Summer Sue. And that has always been her full name. And I use it to call her. And now, if I was at the door, she would have came to it. Because when I'm at the door and she comes into it, I give her a can of food. As you can see here, I'm not at the door, so she knows she ain't going to get a can of food, so she really don't give a shit. That's my beautiful kitty. Hello, Kaifish. What are you doing, Kaifish? Well, other than an injured foot, I am pretty healthy. Now, I am losing hair. You know, the last 2 years that I've not been doing regular content, I have probably lost about 4 inches of hairline. It'll be kind of funny because in my family we got two hair patterns, and it turns out I've got my grandfather's hair pattern, which means in the next 10 years I'm going to go mostly bald. So that'll be something to look forward to on YouTube. Me losing my hair. It's a lot thinner now. It's a lot easier to take care of, honestly. I'll be putting different clips, pictures up on the channel, and I'm just kind of doing it for fun. And I will be changing the icon soon because I'm going to do one specifically for Halloween. Oh, yeah, this is. Now, you can't normally see my gray as much under the lights. But yeah, I said my hair's been going gray, and my hairline used to be to here. You know, 2 years ago, I had hair starting here. But yeah, oh, well, it was strange. I put it straight up for you to get a better view, and it tried to cut off the stream. But yeah, I was on the edge of my Wi-Fi, and rather than have it break off a lot, I just went with data. Like I say, you can see I'm getting streaks, and from where I've been sitting out in the sun riding a tractor, I really do need to bathe. But I already got clean clothes up there waiting on me, and I just have to clean myself up before dark and change my clothes, and then I'm good for the weekend. Because I just had to cut it. They're going to tether it, and they're going to bale it. So my part is done. I got kitties being mean to each other. Oh, shit. The little tiny kitty was over there brutalizing the big giant boy. The big giant boy that has been known to bite tails off. Summer, why don't you bring your brood back over here? She's hunting Summer. You're gonna hunt. Oh, come on, kitties, do something. Normally, when I'm sitting out here, they're playing and romping. Well, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. We've been on 35 minutes. It's been a nice little talk, but yes, either Friday night or Saturday night, we will have a live. We will talk about Adrastia, and it will tie into all this Charlie Kirk stuff. Because Adrastia is trying to get someone to gaslight someone into hurting Adonis Paul. And this is what the media has done and got Charlie Kirk killed. So I'm going to take my stupid idiot on the internet and I'm going to tie it into current events and we will have a live on it. Because for one thing is my current idiot, well, we'll get to that in the live. But in essence, she will make these pathetic videos trying to gaslight someone into hurting Adonis Paul, then hide them. And then no one ever sees them. And then she just keeps making more. And then she hides the vids again and again and again and again and again. Now, she is mentally ill, so it is what it is. But yes, I'm out here enjoying the weather. But I'll do it on whatever day is going to be cooler. That way I give myself some leeway because you never know who's going to knock on the door. You never know what kind of an adventure is going to happen around here. So take care, and I will see you in a day or two. Now, everyone, thank you for coming, and have a good night.